So again, hello, crafty friends. Welcome to June's card class. My name is Stacy, Crafty Diva USA. I hope you are having an amazing weekend. I'm just checking. I'm good. I am live and I am in a good frame because today I am going to sit down. My back is killing me, so I'm going to stay seated. I hope you're joining me live. If you are, please say hello. I'd love to give you a shout out. If you're catching me on YouTube, on my replay, thank you. Welcome. Hopefully you hit subscribe or you're following me on all my social media. So today's class, I'm using cheers and sips. I have so much to show you, but first let me show you the bundle and everything I'm going to be working with today. So here is the stamp set. So cute. Love all these cute sentiments. Cheers to you, to us. It's your day. Let's celebrate. Has all these fun little images to make cocktails, mocktails, iced teas, lemonades, anything you think of, alcoholic beverages. So this is very versatile. I put, as you all know, my thin cuts or dies, whatever you call them, I put a magnetic sheet inside. So here is all these great dies. These also work with the DSP. So I'm going to show you so many fun things you can do with this. If you joined my virtual last week we had with 5 other demonstrator friends of mine, I used this set and I created an entire 6-card workshop. So if you're following me and you have this set plus this, you're going to get so many cards. So this is the stamp and thin cut cheers and sips. This is part of the bundle too. It's these small embossing folders. They're just regular embossing. This one makes the image of like a glass, and then there is a floral one. So today in this class I use the floral one. I already have used the glass one in the virtual, but here's how the floral one looks. Love that. Okay, very, very cute. Okay, what else comes in this? So we have some new gold, what is this called? Gold striped ribbon, which is part of this if you get the entire suite. All right, let's go through the DSP now. Then I'm going to start to show you all the fun things you can do, and then we'll get to these cards. You're going to love them. First, let me show you the cards. These are the cards we're going to make today. So this, we're going to do this fun inking technique. I'm going to show you that. Look at these glasses for like some fun mocktail looking. This is going to be, I don't know what it's called, but I've named it block inking. So we're going to do this fun technique here, and here I use that embossing folder. You're going to get all these bits and pieces in your card kit. I'll tell you all about how you can pick that up. We're going to do some background stamping on this card. And then here's where I brought in that embossing folder again. And then look at this. I made them into vases this time, so not so much drinks. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. So how my class works is anyone who shops with me for the month of June 2025, if you're catching the replay, you earn this pre-cut card kit free, placing an order on my website, net of shipping, tax, and stamping rewards of $50, and you'll get this sent to your door for free. You don't even have to reach out to me. It's automatically going to come at the end of the month. But after June, or if you do not want to shop with me, on my website, craftydivausa.com, I sell all my pre-cut kits and tutorial only. So if you're a demonstrator, you can pick up my tutorial. And if you want to pick up my kits without shopping for me, you can do that as well. So you can go to my website and you'll see all my prior classes. All right, so we'll get to the cards next. Let's look at the DSP, and then I'm going to tell you all, go through some of the things you can do with this. The die cuts in this set are what make it amazing. So these are your DSP. So you have this sheet, and then I'll flip them over. This fun sheet, that one. I love this one. Another floral pattern. And then you have this fun one, and I'm giving you a sneak peek right there. Let me flip them over. Love these. Look at, it's like that. It's a black neutral pattern. I love that. This pairs well with that embossing folder that looks like glass. Love that. Okay, So that's the DSP. So now let's talk about, and I'm just going to bring in, let me move this for a minute. I'm going to show you some of the fun things. So let me show you this first, what you can do here. So I've used a lot of them, and you're going to see these maybe throughout the cards as I make them. But this sheet right here, let me show you what that does. Here is where I've cut out. The dies cut out a lot of these images perfectly. So I've used a lot of them. Again, I said last week I had a big card kit, but that is from here, right? That's right there. Look at the little blackberry, and here's a cherry. So if you don't have the stamps and you only picked up the thin cuts, you can do so much. Thin cuts and DSP with this set, you can do so much. So you can cut out the lemon, you can cut out the long berry leaf there, the strawberry, the cherry, the blackberry. So a lot of these images cut out. So that's one thing you can do with that. Okay, this sheet right here. So let me bring in my stamp set because I've already done a lot of my pre-work. So all you would do here is you would bring your blocks. You would put your whatever color you wanted, black, gray, and right here, leaving a little bit of the white, you would stamp that, okay? You would die cut that out, and you would get one of these. Okay, this I die cut on the other DSP, but just for sake of understanding what you can do here, look at how cool that is, right? So you can do lemonade, you can do orange drinks, pink drinks. Now you can do the same concept with, let me just bring this in, using, I don't have to pull it out, using the tall stamp, right? That's what these longer ones are for. You do the same thing and then thin cut that out. Okay, so that's one thing with that. Let's see what else. Okay, so this piece of DSP, think about all these little images fussy cutting and just adding to your card. So that is another idea with that one. And this one is my most favorite because you can fussy cut all these different drink glasses out, or you can use your thin cuts. So where is this thin cut? So when the glass is just like that, or one like that without a stem coming out, you just put that right there. So I would just trim around this and then run that through your die machine, and then you will get one of these glasses. So I have some examples I'm going to show you, but again, I will show you my inking techniques from the cards. We'll do that during the class, but there is a lot you can do with this. So here is some that I used already. So this is what I mean. I just trim around, and then I'm saving this because I will fussy cut that and use that for a card. Same thing here. So I've done some fussy cutting. Here you can see here I used my thin cut, how that perfectly cut out there. I think that was... oh no, I used it on another card. So thin cuts, and then also, so all these could be made as drinks. Think about your umbrella shades or your umbrella toppers. You can use this stamp that comes and stamp it on top of any of these to give a different image. So it's just not a plain flat ink color. So I hope all that made sense, and I appreciate you sticking with me as I walk through, because I just wanted to show you how versatile this set is. So today I'm also going to be showing in the class and using my handy dandy stylish shapes. I know all my serious followers who do follow my card class have picked up this die. I've been using it all year, so we have definitely gotten our money's worth. And then this is new. This just came out, the Right Word Stamp Set 165316. Great sentiment for inside and front stamping. So I'm only using one today. I use this sentiment. So obviously you can swap that out for anything you have in your stash. So again, my kits come with everything. Let me show you last month's kit just so you get an idea. When you receive my kit, everything comes individually, all your pieces for each card. This QR code right here will bring you to my PDF tutorial, which you can email yourself or you can download and print. It's a full color, has the links that will bring you back to the video. I go through all the cutting. If you're just picking up the tutorial, and then you'll have some directions, any techniques you'll have to come back to today's class, and you can fast forward through that. But that is how my card classes work. And I know a lot of you have been following me and enjoy these. So please share your thoughts on my kits. I'd appreciate it for anybody who's watching. And let's bring in the cards again. So these are the cards we're going to work with today. And if you were at my virtual last weekend, these are absolutely different techniques. I did not show this there. Oh, hey, Jean, how are you? Thanks so much. I know Jean loves my card kits. So, girl, this is the one you're going to be getting for the order I saw that you just placed. So, thank you. So, this is what you'll be getting the end of the month. Everything for this. All right. So, we are going to start off with card 1. This, honestly, this one could be my favorite. All right. So, let me get all my pieces out. This is how your kit's going to come, with all these pieces. And if you have this stamp set and thin cut, you'll be able to do this. But if you don't, then from the pieces that I give you here, you'll have to adapt this. Well, you won't get those, right? They're stamped. You'll have to adapt this and create it. And Jean, my friend, does that a lot with my card kits, and she posts them in our private group. So I love that. All right, so here's my pieces. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move all this away. Just love this DSP, right? All right, so here's our, don't forget, stamp up your envelopes and stamp your inside of your cards. I'm not doing any of that in today's class. So here, of course, is my stylish shapes. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything out of the way, and we're just going to use this piece of scrap. So you're going to get scrap that you're going to use, 2 pieces of scrap. Okay, one is where we're going to make these glasses. And then this other piece you would use, and again, this is where you're going to need the Stampin' Thin Cut. I'm not going to send you these thin cuts, but I will send you the scrap. You would stamp all 3, and then you would need to die cut them out. I've already done that, and then you can color them with your markers as desired. Oh my goodness, you guys, I didn't show you all my little examples before I start. Okay, I wanted to go through these. They're over here to my right. I'll show you quickly. Just look at all the little fun pieces you can make, right, with these Stampin' Thin Cuts. And then think about those liquid, what is that? Liquid glass or glossy effects. I put it over my strawberry there. Okay, there you go. You can see it. Right? So I did want to just show you some of these. Let me not mix it up with my card pieces. I also want to show you, here is if you're just using white cardstock, you can stamp. Again, remember I showed you the short and the tall. And here I just used my markers, and this could be like pink lemonade. So I just used my markers. There's the little tip of my umbrella, and then I would, where's an umbrella just to show you? And then like when you're putting your card together, you would, you know, something like that. And then here I just did like a half a glass, like look at that, maybe rosé wine. And then I brought in those liquid glass again, just for a glossy effect. So that was fun. Here's some fussy cutting. Now that is stamping on the DSP. And then I used my thin cut, my die. So that is not fussy cutting on that one. These are fussy cut, and I added like another, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, garnish. These are all fussy cut out of the DSP, right? How fun are these? Okay, so that's fussy cutting. And then here, this again, I used the die to cut this out of the DSP. Also, this is using acetate. So think about using the die and just cutting out the glass, because then, all right, so if I wanted to use this on my card, I can put that over top, just using like a little glue dot. Okay, how fun is that? It makes it like glass. Or think about the ones that you stamp and cut out. You can put them on top to make it like a full glass. Okay, so just so many ideas. And this last one, so here, if you're following me, I've done this before. This is the masking tape technique. All I did was take the piece, I cut out around it on the DSP. I put a piece of good old packaging tape on top. Then I ran it through the die, through my die machine with the coordinating, let me just show you, with the coordinating long die, just like that. And then I got, this is a different one, but then you get like, it looks like glass already, so you don't have to do that glossy accents or put the acetate. Now you see that these are indented a little bit. How you get that effect is I did this. You would, like if I was on the DSP and I have the masking tape, right? So I set my dies up like that, but then I take this one and also run it through. So that's how you're running it through your die. It's not cutting out the middle, but it's making that impression. To me, that looks like the old school Tupperwares. So cool. All right, so I'm gonna get all my little itty bitty pieces out of the way. I still have so many of these. I just continue to cut out. Look, here's my little, I have this whole box with all my little pieces and all my fun stuff I keep playing with. So I'm just gonna pop these all in here because they are all good that will be used on future products. All right, back to class. Okay, so where did I put my white? I probably picked it up with all of this. And optional, you can use watercolor paper. No, it's gone. Where did my white piece of cardstock go? Hold on. Here it is. Okay. So you can use watercolor paper or just basic white for this. When we do this class, this card, I recommend, and I will be using the watercolor. You will get in your kit from me only watercolor paper in this card to use it because it works better with the watercolor, but you could still do it with just plain basic. All right, so let's try to get this done. I have gone on and on and on. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your blending brush. We are starting out with, where is my ink? Right here. Blackberry Bliss. All right, I want some scrap under me, so let me grab a piece of paper. So just think about starting any of your white cardstock, and I want to just change this color, but I don't want Blackberry Bliss, such a stark, dark color, right? But I want it to coordinate with this beautiful card that I made. So all I did was color white daisy, white, basic white, still getting my close to my heart screwed up, my basic white to the shade that I wanted. So again, if we're gonna do some, I want to like stamp off the paper a little bit just to take that harsh color, and then I'm gonna start blending light strokes, and I'm just blending over my paper. My brush, and I'm going to start changing the color of my paper. Just adding this ink with a light pressure down. And if you need more, you just go into your ink pad. Again, tap off that excess. Okay. So now, once you have that entire piece covered, look at how cool that looks, right? So keep going over it, get your desired shade that you want. But now, I'm going to grab my thin cut for my small glass. And I didn't pre-do this because I wanted to ensure that you saw everything. And I'm just going to use my electronic cutting machine that I have right here, and I'm going to cut 2 glasses out of this. So you can see when I set that up, you have plenty of space. You guys, I don't know how to edit or anything, but now I have to learn, right? Because I have to edit the beginning of that video into this. Otherwise, it's not starting properly. All right, so now there's 1 glass. Love it. We're just going to cut out another. Okay. How fun. So that is what you're going to do. So think of any of your ink colors. You can make another shade of the cardstock, right? So now I also want to bring in Cheers, It's Your Day, and we're going to stamp that. I stamp. Do I have it on the box already? No, I don't. So we want It's Your Day. I'm going to use my, I'm separating these. I just think it was easier for me to stamp. And Cheers is on this one. And especially if you wanted to do two colors, right? Like Cheers in black and It's Your Day in Blackberry Bliss, you can do that also. Or you can just put it on one block. All right, so we're gonna stamp this, Cheers, It's Your Day, right in the middle. Cheers. It's Your Day. Now, again, I'm not gonna re-ink my brush. I think I have plenty on there, but I'm gonna come in again with my scrap, and all I'm gonna do is blend some ink over that. See how on my card, it just kind of finishes it off a little bit. And nothing, you know, you can just do it in the middle. It doesn't have to be neat. I'm just gonna kind of go over very lightly, just lightly over the whole thing. That's how I chose to do this one. Okay, so again, that's just another little finishing idea. So now we're going to come in with our card base. We are pretty much all done with our stamping. Yes, we are. Well, what I do want to do, I want to connect my garnishes. So an easy way to do this, you can either use a glue dot. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a glue dot on the front side of where I colored, right there on the stem. And I'm going to hang one off to the side, just like that. And then I'm going to do the other one kind of go into the other corner. I'm so upset that that happened on my video. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't want to have to start recording. I love going live. Okay, so that's pretty much how you set up all of your stamping, die cuts, etc. And now you're going to come in with all the other pieces. So we are going to take our first, this black piece, and I overdo the Stampin' Seal, I know it. This you're just going to put right on your edge here. And you know, when you're putting your cards together, if there's any extra or a little bit of overlap, like I do have a little in hair there, I always trim that off. Don't worry about it. Okay, now we're gonna take this piece and we're just gonna butt it up against that, and that will completely cover the front. Just like that. I need a craft mat so I don't get adhesive on my desk. I love this little guy. Now I'm going to take my, so in my card kit, you will receive a piece of this glitter, but if you don't have this, if you want to recreate this, I would just use a coordinating color of cardstock. You don't have to use glitter, or I would also do, I think silver glitter would be cool on here. Okay, so that goes there. Now you're going to take these two pieces and just layer these together. And those of you who do not use Stampin' Seal, when you use this, it took me a while to learn. You press, lightly press, right? Like you're going to, and swipe just a little bit, and then you pull to the side. So it's a little piece, swipe to the side. You don't pull and lift up. It's down, swipe to the side, okay? Wasted a lot of adhesive, my friends. All right, until I went to YouTube and found someone who showed me. Okay, we are gonna pop this up. Where are my adhesive? We're just gonna put some, and again, I love dimension. I love layering. If you don't, just leave that off, that step. If you just like pick up the tutorial or you want to recreate these cards and make more. Okay, so this is just going to go, where do I have it? I have it, if you notice, right along the edge there. Okay, so that's where we're going to line it up, right along the edge. I think that was a nice effect. Okay, so now we are not going to pop up, although I love popping up, as I just said. But these are going to go flat down to the paper, and I want to overlap these a little like that. So I'm going to put a little piece of adhesive right there. Oh, these nails are getting long. So they're kind of like tapping, right? Okay, now I'm going to put more. Remember, swipe down, swipe to the side. Want a little on here? Swipe to the side. Then I always feel like it's starting to fall off and I move it over. Okay. So now we're going to put these. Make sure that this is not off, hanging off. This one can totally hang off. Just like that. Now we are going to take, we are going to put a little bit of adhesive at the top here because we want to put our, we want this guy to be kind of popping out from behind, just like that. Now we're going to use some dimensionals. We'll do 3. I hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with foam tape. I love to use foam tape. Okay. I'm going to put that right in the middle. Holographic dots. This is part of this suite also, and love these. You can use them pretty much on any color. It kind of picks up the color that you're using, and I'm going to put 3. Remember, patterns of 3, 3 to 5 only. For embellishments, make a triangle. Okay, card 1 is done. We'll clean up a little. We'll move on to card 2. What do you think? All right. Card 1 is finito. Moving on to card 2. Yay, this is the fun stuff. So I've already pre-done everything. I'm just going to show you the technique so that you can recreate it. Here's all your bits and pieces. And again, you will need the stamps, okay, and the thin cuts to create this card. Otherwise, you're going to get all the DSP in pieces, and then you could use whatever focal images you have and just shop and bust your stash. All right, so on this card, we're going to do that fun technique that I call ink blocking or block inking. What did I say? I put it in the tutorial. Hold on. What did I call it in the tutorial? Did I not say it? I guess I didn't. Ink blocking. Block inking. We're going to go with block inking. I think that's what I said before. Okay, I'm a mess today. Here's all my little pieces I cut out. Look at how fun. All right, I'm going to show you how to do this technique, and I use this technique on the lemon also. So here's all my little bits and pieces. I'm just getting that out. Here's my cherry that I use that glossy accents only on the cherry. Just giving you ideas. Here's my 2 little, we're going to stamp on those. And then this is watercolor paper. So watercolor is just thicker. We do sell, Stampin' Up! Sells watercolor paper. And here's all my pieces. So this is what you will get. This will come embossed already. All right, so I'll show you that after the fact, but we'll move this out of the way for now. And let me show you how to make these marble effects. So I'm going to just show you how to do it because it's so easy. And then I have a whole pile of colors that I've been playing with from previous projects that I'm going to show you. So what I have is a like a little spritzer, and I have alcohol in here. Okay, not drinking alcohol, ladies, it's too early, rubbing alcohol. But you can also do this with water, but water is going to give you a different effect, and I'm going to show you that. But I'm going to do it with alcohol so you can see. So this is Daffodil Delight, and this is Peach Pie. So I'm just going to show you Daffodil Delight. No, actually, I'll do Peach Pie because it might be easier to see on camera. So all I did, okay, is I took this block. So this block is a perfect one. Let me give you the size. This is a 2 by 2.5. So a 2 by 2.5 block. And also I used a bigger block because on card 4, where I made that long vase, I'm going to do it on here. So think about a bigger block for that. But this perfectly fits the small glass. So I'm good with it, right? So all you do is you take your block and you put it flat down into your ink pad, any color. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight down to my paper and press. Now, if you want to I just messed it up. I was trying to drag it without the ink block coming off, but let me do this again. Hold on, I have lots of papers. What I was trying to do was lift it off my surface and flip it over to rub it, but I'm not going to do that because I'm sitting. If I was standing, I could. Okay, so let's do that again. So I inked up my block and I'm pressing it down. Okay, and then I'm just going to lift it up. There's a lot more ink on my block, so I'm going to take my spritzer. Okay, I'm going to do this off this. There's a piece of little fuzz in there. I'm going to do it off to the side so I don't ruin my project, but I'm just going to spritz just a tiny bit of alcohol on here. Okay, so can you see that it bubbled up? I did like one full spritz over it. And now I'm just going to go back down. I think that's perfect. I'm not going to do any more. Okay, so let me do that again and show you. So let's do this again because okay, straight down. You have lots of ink left there, so I'm going to spritz with alcohol. I could spritz with water. I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, there's alcohol on there. I'm going to go back down. Perfect. You're not going to get the same look every time. So, and don't be afraid about your ink pads because you're just going to grab I just use unscented baby wipes. These make your ink blocks sparkling clean. So all you do is take a baby wipe and your ink blocks have never been cleaner. I'm telling you. I did all mine last night. I usually throw mine in the dishwasher after a while. Never again, because I haven't played, with baby wipes, haven't touched them in a while. But after doing this, I was like, dang, that is sparkling clear. Okay, so that's it. So now you would then stamp if you want. So let me just do one just for the video so you know what you're doing here. So then all you do is take your glass, tall, small, whichever one you want to use, right? Pick it up. And then run that through your die machine. Voila, that's what you get. So let me show you. I've done a lot playing with this already, so let me bring some in. Okay, so think about, so there's with the vase and the smaller glass. So here I was playing, right? And the colors, it's not always going to be the same. Some reds, think about stamping the strawberry. I did some smaller blocks. Look at the lemon. So now I don't know if you can tell, but I did the lemon. How cool is that? So think about limes, oranges, right? Okay, so here is using water. That's what it does. It kind of fully blends in. Look at how many different like things you get. All right, so that's using water. That's the difference. It's kind of like just a full-on ink splot. Okay, here's again, this was using water. This is when I was playing with water. So here's one that I did with water. Actually, did I cut it out of this one? No. All I did, this was with water, and I didn't stamp it, but I just fussy cut it. So that's the difference of what it looks like. So many different possibilities. So I hope you love this little technique that I just taught you. All right, so in your kit, this is what you're going to get. Okay, so it's going to be up to you to have the Stampin' Thin cut so you can do your pieces here. You're going to make your cups, but what I did was I did 2 spots of the yellow and 1 spot of the orange because I wanted my lemons. So all I did was just stamp my lemon and then die cut it out. See? Just like that. And then I got this and my other little bits here. So that's what you're going to get. And so you can create this. So truly, you just need the thin cuts for here, right? Just a lot you can do. All right, so let's get to here. Let's just do, since I did all of this, I have all my bits and pieces. I'm just going to do some stamping. I need that cheers again. I'm going to clean this because I need it in black. Cheers, let's celebrate. All right, so I need to change this to let's celebrate. Okay, so I'm just going to use my Memento ink for these. So one has to say let's celebrate right in the middle. And one has to say cheers. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to cover this. If you have a doodle pen or this was a La Pen. I think I got these. Close to My Heart used to sell these, but Stampin' Up has them. All you want to do now is, if you want, I think this is fun. I don't have a steady hand, and I don't think it came out half bad, but just make some doodle lines around this. It's just a fun little effect. And again, like I said, my hands are so super shaky. And if I can do it and it looks decent, you can do it. Okay. See, I just think that changes it up a bit. That one was a little weak, this side, but okay, changes it up, right? Looks fun. All right, so now we're going to come in with our card base. We have all of our bits and everything around. We are just going to, don't forget your envelope. Don't forget the inside. We are just going, this black here is just going straight down to the card base. Something's happening with my, I think I'm out. I'm just going to use my liquid. It's right here. The way I do this is covering the entire card base. So I just kind of hold it together and then guide it in with my hands so that I'm covering the entire card base and there's no hangover. Okay, so these two pieces are cut a little bit shorter to give you a 1/8 inch around the card base, like that. So that's how you want to line them up. So what I do is I would always put one piece there as a guide, move one off, and adhere one, and your other one is there kind of guiding you in. So I hold that down, and then that kind of gives me where I should go. Hope that makes sense. And using the liquid adhesive just gives you a little second to move it around. Just like some tips to line things up, right? Sometimes it's hard to line things up, especially when you have shaky hands. Just like that. Now you're going to come in with that one little black strip. I keep going to grab my tape runner, but I forgot it's right now. And then this just kind of covers that seal. Right in the middle. Just like that. Okay, next. All right, so here's those two cute lemons, right? Remember I did that with that technique I showed you. I'm just gonna take my snips, not my adhesive snips, and I'm just gonna snip right into the middle, just up to the middle, because I want to be able to hang that over a glass, just like that. Right into the middle. Okay. So now I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back because that's going to hold against the back of the glass. So I'm going to hang this right like that so that it's kind of attached to the back. And then I'm going to take one of my garnishes and do the same thing. You can put the garnish in front of the lemon, behind the lemon, whatever you want. I can just use, instead of using a glue dot, I'll just use liquid adhesive right there on the edge. Just like that. Okay. If you want, you can put a little piece of Scotch tape right there to kind of hold everything together. I'm just going to set it aside for a moment and work on my other glass. So the peach pie is going to go on the peach pie side, and the lemonade looking one is going to go on this side. So I'm going to set this cup up kind of the same. And if you wanted to stamp one and make it a lime, you can certainly do that. I think for this one, I'm going to put in the front. Yeah, I want to put this in the front. So we're going to put this on first. And I'm going to put, remember, a little bit of glue on the back side of the lemon. I'm going to tuck that behind, just like that. Love it. Love how these look. They're so cute. All right, I need foam. We're going to put these on foam. Okay, I think that's good. Do we need another one here? Okay, I think we're good. So peach pie on the peach pie side. You're gonna kind of put that like right there, and then a little higher. Now you're gonna take your cheers. This is gonna go straight down to the paper. We're not gonna pop this up. Then let's celebrate. Take our cherry and put our cherry on the let's celebrate. We're going to take that little strip of glitter cardstock, and it's going to fit right underneath cheers. Now for embellishments, you can use anything you want. You can use the holographic dots. You can use the, because we're using you can use the 20, what are these dots? The 25, 27 in color flat pearls, or you can use the holographic. So I chose to use these because they coordinated. I'm gonna put a small, a medium, and a large. 2 smalls and 1 medium. Again, trying to follow a triangle of sorts. We will put a large one here. Okay. All right. Card 2 is finished. I hope you enjoy this technique. It is super easy, and there's so many different styles you can make of glasses, vase, right? All right, another fun thing we're gonna do. Okay, here is card 3. We're gonna switch this up a little bit because since I've designed this card class, I've came up with a new technique that I really, really love, and here it is. Look at that, look at that. All I did was take this piece, remember from the big DSP, I cut a square out. I did not stamp. I just used my thin cut, which I have a huge mess now since we're up to card 3. You know I got a mess on my desk. I just used my thin cut and cut that out, okay? We're gonna do that right now because I'm gonna do this live with you so you can see how fun this little technique is. Okay, so here's our glass. Again, just using that DSP, I cut one of them out. Now I am going to take my embossing powder and my Versamark ink. All right, I am going to dip the tip in the Versamark, just like this. Let me go close so you can see. Just a very little bit of the tip. Kind of like swipe it. Just a little bit. If you want to put some on the edge, you can put some on the edge of the glass if you want. Just going to show you the tip right now. Sprinkle your embossing powder on it. Later. Okay, and now I'm going to come in with my heat tool. I need to get a new heat gun. Here it goes. How fun is that? So you can decorate these dyed pieces from the DSP. Look at how fun that is. Okay, so that is another trick. So I'm just going to swap out today this glass for this. And I stamped and die cut a little sprig for the drink. So we're just going to attach that and let that dry. Dry. Okay, so for this card, you're going to get a diagonal, right? So I just cut 2 pieces of DSP and put that on a diagonal. The little images I'm using, I stamped and colored a blackberry and a strawberry, and you know it, I put a little of that glossy effects on it. Okay, this is just a glass I fussy cut from the DSP. You can even die cut that if you'd like. And then, there's one more piece on this end. Where's my little limey? I did cut it. Did I lose it? I had a lime. Where's my lime? Don't know, but guess what? That's perfect because we'll just cut out another one. Where is that paper? So this, I'll show you how easy this is. I'm going to cut that line out right there. Because I lost mine. So I'm just going to cut this line. So there's our lime. And we got to do a little bit of stamping. So you want to take out your olive green. You're going to take out your stamp, which is that long sprig here. And we are going to random stamp all the way around. So I need some scrap. Let's use this as scrap. And my old olive. Don't always go the same direction, change it up. So I'm just really focusing on the edges because that's all you're gonna see, truly. In case you see some. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so now we are going to come in with our card base. We're coming in with those 2 diagonal pieces that you're going to get, like I said, in your kit, but all I did was take 2 of the same pieces, diagonal cut them, and you actually get 2. So you can make another card. They would just be flopped. So that's all we're going to set up there. We need our adhesive. Oh, we have to stamp one more thing. So again, we're leaving that border on the card base. So before I fully push down, I'm going to get this into position. I think that's good. Okay. And butt that up against one another. Perfect. Okay, so you're going to take this piece of white. Yeah, you got two pieces, one larger, one smaller. So these two are just going to layer together, so we can do that. So the old olive with the larger one. And in your tutorial, all the cutting guides and everything is there. And this just has that tiny little layer peeking through. Okay, so now this one, we just have to stamp cheers. Cheers to you, and that looks like it's in Blackberry Bliss. I need to you, to us, to you, no, to you, okay. I need to you. And that's just right in the middle. Perfect. Okay, this layer is going to get popped up onto our card base. Did I lose my dimensionals? I lose everything. By this time, I have lost everything. So I gotta just swap to my other foam because I don't know where it is at this point. And I'm not gonna stop. Oh, I see them. I see them. Okay, so this is just gonna center in the middle, best you could. Okay, this piece is also going to layer, but we're gonna put this together first. So all I wanna do is take our two pieces that we made. So see, I swapped this up. We're gonna again do that same thing here. That's kind of where I want it. We need a little bit of glue here. Just like that. We're going to take that line, and that is just going to kind of sit on top of our glass there. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to put glue on the back of all of this. Place this how we think it should go, and I think that is perfect. You just don't want to obstruct the sentiment. Okay, so now you're going to take your smaller of the two and use some Scotch tape. Always do one side tight, then flip it over. You got a little tape hanging off. You gotta cut that off. Okay. And this ribbon really needs to be pulled tight so it's flat. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to take that other piece that'll come in your kit, and I'm going to slide it underneath. And I'm going to tie a knot, whichever way. I don't want to tie a knot this way because I don't want to cover up that pretty embossing. So I'm going to do it on this side of the card. All right. Make some tails. So pretty. And then we are going to pop this up. This quicker with my foam tape. I'm telling you, I said already, I wish Stampin' Up will foam tape. Here instead. I want a small one. I'm going to do a medium one. Okay. There is card 3. How you liking these cards so far? Okay. Last card. This is that fun one again. I don't have to go through the technique because you already know it. Go back to card 2. That's what where I did those fun block inking. I can't remember, Stacy. All right, so here's all my pieces. I've already gone ahead. I tied a cute little bow because there ain't no way I'm doing that on camera. But look at these vases. So they came out of when I made my ink blocks. I saved it to show you. I did press up and down maybe 2 or 3 times, but I loved the effect of how they came out. And to me, they look like crackled vases. I don't know. I just think they were perfect. So play around. And actually, this is not even, this is regular cardstock, basic white. This is not done with watercolor paper because I could absolutely feel the difference. Look at the difference. This is just basic white. You see how it's, and then this is watercolor. So truly you could just use your regular paper, but I love that. All right, so here is card 4, what we're going to make. So I'm just pulling out all my pieces. I went ahead, did stamping. There is my stylish shapes. All right. And more sprigs. So I'm just using from my stash that you'll get in your kit. I have white glitter paper, so you'll receive that in your kit. If you just pick up the tutorial, you will then use something coordinating for there. Now here is that piece of strawberry slush. This is our new strawberry slush, a new in color. And all I did was take this piece, and where's those embossing folders? Let me show you. And this size perfectly fit, and I went right up to the stamp. I use that Stampin' Up guide, that line all the time, right in the center of that. That's how I put it through my die machine, so that the center was perfectly embossed. All right, so again, that's just that fun technique here. You can go ahead and play around with that. I'm going to take my polka dot pieces first, start assembling the card, and make sure my card's open right. Yeah. You know how many cards I've created and assembled and then they opened backwards? I was like, oh my goodness. And I start over. Okay, so there's my top. Now you want to do the bottom. Oh my God, my tape runner. Holy Jesus. I was so prepared for today's class. I have everything set up and everything's all ready to go, but I never check my adhesive. Okay. So now we're going to take that, when you have your top and bottom on, you want this is bigger, see, you just want to put that centered in the middle there. Do I have any more adhesive in here? Probably not. Oh, I do. So that is just going to go right in the center there. Now you see you have these harsh lines. I don't like that personally. My style, I'm a very clean lines, layered. That's what I like to do. So that's where these little strips come in handy and seal that off. So that's the next step. like to cover my seams. Okay, so now, again, this is from the Stylish Shapes. I think this is like 2.5 inch circle. So I'm just gonna perfectly line that up right there over to the right side of my card. That's all I'm gonna do. So there's nothing hanging off. I'm sorry for keep slamming my tape runner down. Okay. Now I'm going to assemble my vases. You can put these and then tuck them behind if you want. Again, I'm just putting them right attached to my vase. I'm going to use a little piece of, I'm going to try to do it with Scotch tape. So I'm going to use the long ones for the long vase. I'm just going to kind of put them like that, just like that. Flip it over. I want them straight. Let's see how that looks. Hold on. So however you do it, oh, I need another little piece. However it works for you. Use glue dots, use Scotch tape. Okay, I'm good. So that's good for me. And then this little one, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put adhesive on the back. Make my life a hell of a lot easier. Go like this. One. That's using your noggin, Stacy, and we're going to kind of layer one in front of it. Like that. Okay, so now I am ready. I'm going to put foam on these two so they are dimensional. And these are actually going to overlap too. So let me show you that. That's what I want to set up first. Yes. So I want to have these like that. So I'm going to put a little swipe of adhesive right here, just so they can touch each other, not too much, and they don't fall apart, just like that. I love that. This would look so cool on like a card. Think about a card, you know, with your sentiment over here. So many ideas with this set. Okay, so we're going to flip that over and we're going to put some dimensionals. Okay, now that is going to go right about there. I don't know, this might be my favorite card. Card 2 and card 4. What's your favorite card? Let me know. Hi, Linda. I have the pick tool. I know, I'm just lazy. I have it. It's in here. Where is it? Oh, wait, I'm falling off my chair. It's here. I have it. So, liquid glass is from Close to My Heart, but Glossy Accents, Stampin' Up used to sell many years ago. It's a Ranger product, and you can find that in Michael's. So all you do is you put it on top of your image and it makes it glossy. So I think you saw in the last card right there. But you have to let it set aside and dry for a while. So again, I still have the one from Close to My Heart. I know Stampin' Up used to sell it years ago. They don't anymore, but you can find it out in the stores or on probably on Amazon. Okay, so I want this to overlap. And it's your first time watching. I'm so glad, Linda. Thank you. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. And Jean, you love those colors, girl. Thanks so much. Love it all. Thank you. Awesome. If you want to join my private group, if you're a demonstrator, that's fine. Or if you're just a crafter, you can find all of those links around. Okay, so I put just a adhesive on one little square, and then I use my tape runner here because it's going to overlap. And I got to pull this off first. And yes, I know I should use my pick tool. I'm so lazy. I just forget about things, right? Okay, so we want that to overlap a little bit and then put that there. We're gonna use a little glue dot for our bow. And again, I am terrible at bow making, so I do these off camera, but I have a little cheat thing that I'll share with you. And I don't know if this person still makes them, but it was a 10-second bow maker. I think I ordered this like 15 years ago. This little wooden tool, and you make bows. That's how I make my bows. Okay, I'm gonna use the flat pearls again. These are the 527 flat pearls, strawberry slush. And I'm just gonna pop a few of these around. Remember, try to always do something in a triangle. It's very eye-pleasing when you look at a card and it just finishes it off. And they could just be placed around anywhere, but they look like they belong there. Yay, I'm finished. Again, sorry for technical difficulties in the beginning. Now I got to figure out how to edit so I can put those two together. Let's go back through the cards we made today. So this is card 4. We did that fun block inking technique. This was card 3. We did some random stamping. Again, using those die pieces or the DSP fussy cutting and, you know, putting some embossing powder on your rim. Again, love this. So cool effect there. And then another one doing the ink blending. We just blended to make those cups. So again, that is all for my cards, my tutorial, and everything. Pre-cut card kits ready to go. Again, you can earn this free by shopping with me the month of June. $50 order on my website. Net shipping, tax, and Stampin' Rewards. It's after all that. If your order totals 50, you'll get this automatically in the mail, or you can, I have a website, craftydivausa.com. You can find all my pre-cut kits to purchase, past classes, this class. Even if you don't want to purchase with me, you can purchase the class for $30, or tutorials only I have on my website that are available. So everything is up and will be on my website shortly after I edit this video, because I have to take 2 clips and put it together, something I've never done before. But I thank you all. Thanks, Linda, for joining today. And again, if you're watching me on later on a replay on YouTube, I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. My name's Stacy. I'm Crafty Diva USA, and you can find me all over social media by Crafty Diva USA. Bye now. Have a great day.